We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Hell yes, I get to ride the dragon.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
I know Kung Fu.
Tank, you want to switch? No, I'm good. I got it.
Stay down. I could do this all day.
If you had to transform into one mythical creature and then get married to a different mythical creature.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Maximum effort. How about a magic trick?
HR.
Not an animal.
HR. Is HR.
Somebody call HR down here.
That man is playing Galaga.
Boom. Point.
Yeah, you didn't point. You just said boom.
I know. I forgot.
Welcome to the Nerds from Work, your weekly escape into the world of geeks, nerds, and terrible, terrible cues from my editor.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's my editor, Tank. With me, as always, and Naru Igbaje.
What up?
Am I the only one with an unopened beer?
Yes.
Yes.
Seriously, you gotta ask that question right now?
Well, I was trying to see if Jason's was open. I thought it was.
Jason is drinking out of a large cup.
Tank's gonna
This is,
drink out of a smaller cup.
the only episode to ever air where Jason is not drinking alcohol.
Oh wow.
I don't even know what to say. Like it's a first. It's yeah.
Is that even the real Jason or not? Cannot confirm.
Who are you and what have you done with Jason?
Cannot confirm.
I am actually a doppelganger that is much cleaner and eats more quinoa.
One of the guys at work is going through a detox this whole month. He's taking no alcohol, no coffee, no weed, and by day 2 he was like snapping at everybody.
It's no joke, man. You cut stuff out of your life that you normally do, and you get like angry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Like he was like, one of the things that he said that I thought was real funny. He's like, I didn't think I would never have admitted I was an addict until I had to stop. I'm like, shit. Like,
That's funny.
nearly punching out his girl. Like,
Puppy.
it's that bad.
Nice.
Yeah,
Zeeks.
dude. I quit energy drinks, and by like day 2, it was like you get like these jitters. It's terrible. But anyway, let's jump into what we've been up to. Tank, what have you been up to, man?
Man, it's been kind of a pretty chill week, honestly. I did been getting caught up on the DC animated universe, which is like low-key awesome. Like they don't do like any promotions for it. Like they just like come out on like DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, and then just like you have to like go find out about it. And you're like, oh, because I watched Wonder Woman Bloodlines today. Because Naru, you and Travis mentioned it the other week.
Mm.
And I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize how many behind I was. The last one I had watched was it was Teen Titans versus Justice League or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was like Batman Hush and what was the other one I hadn't seen yet? Oh, Death of Superman and Reign of Superman. I hadn't seen either one of those yet. And I watched all those, got caught up to Bloodlines, which was okay. I mean, it wasn't my favorite in the animated universe, but I can definitely see where it belongs, both in the universe and kind of in today's society. It's a very much like women empowerment, which is what Wonder Woman's all about. So,
Did you watch Ninja Batman?
Dude, I tried. That movie was so fucking weird.
It took me 3 attempts.
Yeah.
I started watching it the first time. I thought, oh man, screw this. And then the second time, I'm like, okay, I got further along, but I didn't finish, and then I wrapped it up. So.
Yeah, I need to go watch it again. I fell asleep in the middle of it last time, so I need to go watch it again. I mean, it was cool. I guess I just wasn't. I tried to watch it, when I wasn't, in the right mindset or whatever. So.
Does either of you have DC Universe?
No.
Yes.
Okay, because it's funny. I pop into DC Universe from time to time, and I'll do it on my phone. And that's how I realized that the Wonder Woman Bloodlines was out, because I jumped in and there's all this, the advertising a specific storyline.
Yeah.
So I started reading from that comic book, and it was like, okay, this. I started reading. I think this was interesting, and I watched Bloodlines, and Bloodlines was that exact story arc.
Oh, yeah.
So it took a second for me to realize it's in the comic book. So I pretty much spent last week diving through the 1986 Wonder Woman, storyline, that whole arc.
So
it's been pretty good.
Do they have the purple healing light in the comics?
Yeah.
Really? Because that was the only thing that bothered me. That whole movie is like you knew from the intro.
The invisible jet doesn't bother you. None of that. That's the purple.
No, because that was a throwback. That's fine. Like that is what it is. What bothered me was like nothing that anyone did, like gave up, was of any consequence. That whole movie, her giving up her eyesight, Amy getting turned into stone, him crashing and getting burns. None of that mattered. And my problem was it was just this magical healing purple light. There was no explanation. Nothing else in Themyscira showed that level of technology. They kept alluding to like all of this technology on the island, but the only thing they showed us was this magical purple light that essentially just reset everything at the end of the movie. So,
and it's funny you bring that up because if you actually get into the DC Universe comic books, you'll see that they don't explain what the light is, but it's one of the things they use. Like they've got the purple healing light, they've got all kinds of technology. Silver, what's her name, that attacks Wonder Woman, actually, she takes her back at some point. She takes her back to Themyscira to have the doctors there check her out. And they're using all their high-tech equipment and everything to check her out. Like they have a level of technology because at some point they even come into conflict with the U.S. government because Themyscira ends up right next to the U.S. government off the shores of the Carolinas. So the storyline it gets pretty convoluted and pretty intricate, but I guess they just opted to leave all that stuff out.
Yeah, it's just odd because, like, no one liked Thor 2, but they had that line in there, like, and it's not they didn't come up with it, but it's like any sufficient technology looks like magic to somebody who doesn't understand it.
True.
But like, Asgard has flying ships and they've got all this technology all over the place. So the fact that they have this like medical unit makes sense. Themyscira are fighting with sword shields and bows and arrows, but then you have this super high-tech purple healing beam. It's like, I don't know. It just bothered me. But the rest of the movie was fine. The other movies are dope. The movies are why I like Damian as Robin, because we all know that I don't watch the comics. So seeing Damian in those movies... I don't... Exactly, yeah.
I don't watch comics either.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, like seeing Damian in those movies, I think they do a really good job, fun thing with Damian, so...
Damian has a whole bunch of haters on it. I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys that can't stand him. Just FYI.
But it was funny. That's fine. But it was funny because, like, when in Batman Hush, he basically like does this little like romance thing with Catwoman, and at one point he tells Damian he's leaving, and so Damian was just like, "Okay, but watch your drink, because that's how." Yeah, Damian became and so like, but if you hadn't seen the other movies, like you wouldn't miss it. I was like, okay, that was a good nod. I like that. So, But yeah, so now that I've talked all this time, that and then my last little things, I built a VO booth, voiceover recording booth in my office, and so I'm definitely going to be start trying to do that, which we already recorded and submitted my first audition for like a book narration. So,
nice.
I can't read, so I can't do that.
It helps.
I think it's one of the requirements.
Is that because you're illiterate or your glasses are broken?
No, totally illiterate.
Why do you think the Marines took them? The Marines were the only ones that would take them.
Explains so much. He never read the small print.
There you go.
I signed a contract, didn't read. My signature is a smiley face.
Really? I thought it was a thumbprint.
Thumbprint can be traced back to me. I'm just a smiley face. So if you're ever standing behind me at the store, smiley face.
Smiley face. My father, like, real story, my father-in-law will sign Goofy a lot of times. Just because. It's like, oh,
seriously?
Yeah.
What about you, Rue? What have you been up to?
I already said it. Been reading Wonder Woman, baby. Like, I spent a whole lot of time just in that world. George Perez. Is it George Perez? I keep forgetting his name. Right? It's surprisingly intricate where they go into the whole Wonder Woman versus the world and trying to present her as. I mean, they dive into the pantheon of the gods, the conflict between her and right-wing America when she shows up with very liberal ideas, but also she's very, she brings up her gods and they're like, oh, they dive into all kinds of really, I never knew that they did stories like that in regards to Wonder Woman. So that's interesting. So that's been my one and only, actual nerd related. Besides, is always playing FIFA with the boys, and I guess you could also add. Oh, I signed up for YouTube TV, so I have been compiling a pretty strong library of all my favorite stuff. Because apparently with YouTube you have an unlimited library, so you can just load up
Nice.
everything you want. So it's been a very wonderful week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am
So
I the only one that has watched The Watchmen?
My
I've
buddy,
seen episode 1.
I haven't watched it,
Got caught up.
but my buddy does like like prop effects for TV shows. Like he worked on
So you worked on The Watchmen?
he worked on
Indicator?
Legacies, but yeah, he works on HBO. So anytime there's like fog or there's something else that he does a lot of. That's my buddy. But no, I haven't watched the show yet.
Naru, I
Yeah.
know you said you watched episode 1.
Mhm.
You're probably gonna have to go back and watch it like another 2 times. This show, man.
Is
it's
it that
like-
dense?
It's
It is
so
dense.
It's so dense. Like, I'm into that, right? Like, I'm super into quote unquote getting my money's worth, right? Like,
Oh,
if I
yes.
sit down for 1 hour, I want to be entertained. You know
Sure.
what I mean? But I also want sometimes, not all the time, because I have watched literally every episode of Chuck and Psych. Okay, so I want to be entertained and I want my brain to be engaged. But I watch Chuck and Psych when it's like,
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit.
Yep.
Like, whatever. Because those shows are just fun.
Yes.
Don't watch this shit. If you even think that you need to blow your nose, don't fucking watch it. Because you'll miss something.
Jeez.
So I've watched all 3 episodes so far. And then my wife was like, oh, that's good. So that's a show you like? I was like, no. I'm going to get you into it too. I was like, well, I have to go back and watch all 3 episodes again. So buckle up. I mean, it's
Hold on to
dense
your
and it's
butts.
great. Like the lead is a female detective, and she's a strong. Like, it's been a while since I've seen a female
character that
a female character that, as a male, I'm like, I can relate to that. You know what I mean?
she grabs you like, pay attention, baby. Like, I got stuff to do. Like, yeah.
She's great. Like, she is an awesome female character.
Sweet.
And her being the lead makes so much sense. Like, it's
Yeah.
awesome, and she's great. I love the series so far. Gosh, but you know what other series I loved that they canceled? Deadly Class.
Oh yeah.
That show is fucking
I
awesome.
didn't actually finish the first season.
That's the
Neither-
only season
neither did
you
I.
have Time.
I made it about I think like 8 or 10 episodes in
Oh,
or something.
Me and Travis loved that show.
I mean, it was good. It
got
was
canceled.
another weird one.
But it was weird, and that's why it got canceled. Because
Yeah.
people loved it, but it was very, very like,
It was a very niche
not
audience.
everyone wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
It was like the super nerds loved it.
Right.
So,
Honestly, my one of those shows that comes up and you think this is HBO, so it's going to be quality. Like, they don't mess around. If you're going to put that much money into doing this, it's going to be, And the other thing that it's cast, just grabs you. And this isn't. I don't think this is a spoiler at this point. I see Don Johnson in there. I'm like, oh my god, this is wow. Okay, this is from way back, and then boom. I'm like, okay, what's up? Then I see people like, Tim Blake Nelson, who I really wish they'd bring back to the MCU. I was looking forward to seeing him further as the leader in Hulks. But, until they fix up their issues with Hulk. Then, of course, Jeremy Irons is always a pleasure to see.
We like Jeremy Irons.
As far as the cast is concerned, that alone makes you stop and think. You got Louis Gossett Jr. So everything I saw in the first episode made me stop and go, okay. Now, the real reason I haven't seen episode 2 is because I didn't want to pay for HBO. So I thought, okay, how do I see this for free? I had 2 choices. either start creating false accounts and signing up and use that for a bit. But I think I've tried that a couple of times before I finally started paying HBO for Game of Thrones. So I've run out of email accounts, which meant I had to basically go to one of those online streaming places. Did that, and I had so many pop-ups. Like I'm watching this and click, click, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not doing this again.
Well, just wait until HBO Max comes out, and then you can get that.
I mean, that's May of
That's
next
gonna
year.
have DCU on it.
That's May of next year.
I don't know. This was that
I
far
mean, you
away.
got time.
And can I, if I can shift gears for a second, I need to bring this up because Brandon's not on, so I have to make sure I carry the torch for the true D&D nerds, because Jason likes to play like he's a D&D nerd, but he's not to the level of me and Brandon.
D&D nerd.
Freaking,
You're welcome, by the way.
I mean, so it was funny because I had literally got up off the toilet and like I was like, oh, Twitter, and I just like swiped the Twitter notification off my phone, sat down, saw your thing. I was like, oh shit, that's what I just swiped off my phone. And so I was like, and we're talking about freaking Amazon Prime Video paying for 2 seasons of the Legend of Vox Machina Critical Role's animated TV show that they raised $11.5 million for on a crowdfunding.
It's insane.
It's fucking crazy.
Whoa. I thought that you were going to actually go a little bit more local than that, and how the Botched podcast probably has the coolest.
Oh, no.
That was dope, too.
That's coming.
That's dope. That was dope, too. But I need to, and I can talk about that in a quick second, because that's a much smaller story, because it's a cool little story. But
Ooh.
it is dope. But can we just just think for a second that this show, this internet show, that are 4-hour episodes, they had enough, and they already tried to. The reason that they crowdfunded the first season of the animated show is because they went to some of these other like Netflix and people and said, "Hey, we want to do the show," and no one would listen to them. So they're like, "All right, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves." And so they're like, "All right," they crowdfunded it, got crazy amounts of money, and then somebody was like, "Oh, they were serious. People are gonna actually watch this."
Yeah.
And so Amazon Prime was like, "Cool, let's jump on this while we can." And basically, they're like, I guess, helping to produce the first season because that's already paid for by the crowdfunding, and then they're paying for the second season. So two 12-episode seasons of the story before the stream started. This is all the stuff they used to do back in the DM's apartment when they very first started.
Yeah, but you know that contract that we haven't seen, it's like, yeah, they have 2 seasons, but it's like, you guys are locked to Amazon for this many years. Like,
Potentially.
No, I mean, as a businessman, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
You see them raising how many millions of dollars?
11.3, I think, or something.
No. The 11.3 is not even what impressed me. It's the fact that they wanted to raise 750,000.
Right.
Well, right.
And they blew past it.
Yeah.
To 11.3.
But Amazon sees that. They're smart.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna lock you in. We'll give you a second season because they'll crank that out by 2020. You know what I mean? Because Amazon,
not the
Jack
second
Ryan
season,
is on its second season, and it just came out last year. So like, drop one in the next, by beginning of 2021, we'll have both seasons. But if you're smart, you lock them in for a time.
Sure.
Like, you can't
well, if I read the article right, they're also if I read the article right, they're also talking about producing some Amazon exclusive content with Critical Role as well.
Right.
So that's
what I'm saying is like,
so that's
Amazon
where
is locking down Critical Role because they saw, oh, you guys can make a lot of money. We're gonna lock it down.
And there's always the people that are like, oh, you know, selling out to corporate, whatever. But like, if you know anything about, I mean, like, just like in general,
dude, that's with everything.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But if you know the Critical Role cast and crew, I'm the least worried about them. Like, they literally started this on their own from nothing. Everything they do is, you know, they
say they were selling out when they got sponsored by D&D Beyond.
Right, potentially.
I mean, that you could say like, oh, they're selling out.
Right.
D&D Beyond.
Well, you know, the fact that they're like, oh, we're gonna do this on our own. We're gonna, you know, crowdfund this money, and then turn around and have Amazon Prime start paying for it. Which, you know, I don't think I think knowing and like listening to their stories, they're probably some of the most candid celebrities, if you will, on the internet. They will like tell you exactly how it is up front as much as they can, and I really feel like they are so passionate about keeping things a certain way that I'm not worried about them letting Amazon come in and push them around. They'll say, you know what, if you're gonna be like this, then we're good. Like, or they never would have signed up in the first place.
Amazon. Here's the thing about Amazon. You got to understand, and this is coming from a guy who doesn't even. I don't do Critical Role. I've never listened to a single episode. I know who they are because their reach is that intense among my friends, among people I listen to, follow. So I know exactly what they do. But from a business perspective, these guys come up to you, then your feelers are out there. People like Joe Manganiello, and so many other celebrities have recently come out to say, hey, there's been a buzz for the last year and a half about the fact that we're all into D&D and you can't make us look like we're punks or something. That's what we do. Vin Diesel is a known fan of Dungeons and Dragons. So because of that, you have that level of celebrity looking at it. One. Two, they're on Twitch. Twitch is owned by Amazon. So Amazon can look at the numbers and say, okay, they're one of the better performing anythings they have out there. Number three, these guys tried to raise $750,000 to do a single episode. It wasn't even meant to be a season. It was supposed to be a special. And they the response was unreal. That is the equivalent of trying to do. That's the equivalent of the Joker, of doing a $50 million movie that's on the verge of making $1 billion. That is the internet equivalent of that. Amazon is not stupid. They're like, okay, we're going to jump on this, even if all we do is let them play their game, do what they do, and then we convince them to, hey, why don't we have guest stars coming in? Have Vin Diesel pop in for a vocal performance or two. Have Manganiello coming in. Have anybody out there, anybody who's a known fan that we can find, come in for a known episode or two. They wanted to do 10 episodes, right? Turns out they went from 10, now it's 14. So their dreams just came true. And I'm happy for that. That's basically.
So looking at this, like when I was in school, it was like you have your favorite band, right? Like rock band, they're local, and then it's like, oh, well, they got picked up by so-and-so records, they sold out. It's like, no, they didn't. They played music not because they wanted to make us happy. They play music because they enjoy it, and they want to get paid for what they love doing. Don't call them a sellout. They just did their fucking goal. That would be like if IGN came to us, right?
Please call me a sellout.
Love your show.
I dare you.
What's up?
I said, please call me a sellout. I dare you. Please.
No, like I'll be a fucking sellout. Like,
thank you.
Hey, IGN. I'll get a fucking IGN tattoo on my fucking collar, right? Like, I'll be a sellout.
It'll be my first tattoo.
That's because they're paying us for something we enjoy doing. So it's like, you can call us a sellout all you want, but at the end of the day, it's like, I'm still doing what I enjoy doing because I enjoy doing it.
And because here's the thing,
I'm getting paid a lot of money for it.
And here's the thing. Every single one of the cast, the actual like show's cast, they're all professional voice actors making a full-time living without Critical Role. So it's like they don't have to go. It's not like they're like, we have to go do this or else we can't pay the bills. They're all good. Like, I mean,
not a single one of them is like a working actor. It's like every single anime series, every single one of them are on it.
Exactly. Like all the like late 90s, early 2000 anime is full with these guys. All the most recent video game stuff is done by these guys. Sam Riegel was just released. I think it was one of the Ninja Turtles cartoons that just recently came out. He was like one of the producers on that. So yeah, like I'm good. Like I truly believe after hearing the way all the information that they put out, that this is only going to be good. I don't believe they're going to let anybody come in and mess up their vision for what they were going to do. All they're going to do is take their money, make it even bigger and better for us.
Also, while we're on Amazon, I know not this show because this is going to lead me down a rabbit hole, But at some point, I would like to talk about how Amazon purchased the rights to do a Lord of the Rings TV show, and we haven't heard shit about it. I
Yeah.
would like to talk about that. at some
Amazon
point.
takes its time. I'll tell you that.
Not now, but definitely at some point.
But
Because right now, what I want to talk about, Amazon, great, love you. I'm watching Jack Ryan. You got me for another 23 minutes. Let's talk about Disney Plus because that shit's dropping like next week.
that's
Are
crazy.
you guys getting it? First off,
I thought we were all getting it and sharing. You know.
I think Verizon customers get it for free. I saw something about Verizon was giving it the first year.
Yeah, they are.
So
nice.
and I'm on my in-laws plan, but
Well, that's nice of you.
yeah. Well, hey, big plan. Everybody pays less. So because of that, I need to actually like figure out how to get it set because I wasn't initially going to. Then I saw that.
So, but see, here's my 2 cents. You have kids. Why wouldn't you?
Right?
Because they already watch so much TV as it is without it. Like,
Oh, you guys have regular TV.
no, we don't. I don't pay for cable. But we have Netflix, we have Hulu, we have Prime.
Okay, look at those three, right? Netflix, Hulu, and Prime. Okay, Hulu, I can understand.
And I will say too, and sorry, as a little caveat to let you finish that, the younger one, it's not gonna. He's too young. He's still watching like Mother Goose Club, like sing along stuff. The older one, he's like sometimes he'll watch Disney movies.
Jason,
Bro,
you're wasting
Disney
your time.
Junior is
He's
gonna
gonna
be
get
on the. Disney Junior is on Disney Plus.
We'll see.
You're in a losing battle, but you're
Like,
getting
straight up.
you're getting it for free with Verizon.
That's
so,
true. That's true.
I mean, you're gonna see that you're on a losing battle. But I will say Netflix and Amazon, their child section, not that strong. Like for my 9-year-old, she likes Netflix,
Yeah.
but my 6-year-old is like, or my 7-year-old's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're not really that strong. Now, when you get a little older and they can follow the stories, then yeah, it's better. But
Right.
Rue, you're getting Disney Plus?
You think? Yeah.
Well,
That's
I mean, it's
one
not
of the
a bad
reasons why I
deal.
held off on HBO.
It's $6.
No, because
Frank.
here's the thing: we're paying for Hulu right now, right? So you got Hulu.
Right.
So you're thinking, okay, I want to keep Hulu because of stuff like My Hero Academia. God, I never thought I'd ever say that, but because of that kind of stuff, because Hulu has an amazing lineup of anime that's really cool
they do
anime
have a
that
lot
I
of
can get
anime.
into.
And old 90s shows.
Yeah.
Thanks a
And
lot, Home
everything.
Improvement.
And you've also got like, basically that's going to cost you like $13 Disney Plus Hulu.
And ESPN Plus, so I can watch all of my football matches.
I could give a shit about that.
Listen,
Yeah,
what's football?
Dude, they have Series A and a whole bunch of other leagues.
Is that
I'm
the one
assuming
with
you
the?
I'm assuming you meant Serie A, but yeah. Let's go with that.
Is that
No,
the
but
one
seriously,
on the ice with the sticks and the puck? Is that one?
I'm just saying ESPN Plus coming in it's great. I'm happy to have it, but my point is effectively you're going to be spending that much. There's a lot of stuff I want, and I basically forced myself to think about what I want and what I can keep. Like there's a lot of things, and I can't do it all.
Right.
Fortunately.
So,
I wish I could, but I can't, man. Like, and y'all don't want to share and everything. So,
my household will also be getting Disney Plus.
Are you sure you're not drinking alcohol?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what is the Disney Plus?
I'm sick, but I wanted to talk a little bit real quick about, Disney Plus is going to be great. I'm going to get it. Naru's going to get it. We understand the benefits it does have, but it's not going to have everything.
Thanks on
so a lot of people think, oh, Disney Plus is coming out, everything will be on there.
No.
And that's not true. So there are tons of movies that are not going to be on Disney Plus at launch. And a lot of them are Disney movies. Like, not even, our Marvel movies or, Star Wars stuff, we couldn't get that. Or it's like movies that haven't been out. Like, so your newer Disney movies, right? The Lion King, Toy Story 4, Aladdin, the new Maleficent.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
newer Disney movies are not going to be on there.
Well, naturally.
Are they still locked up
Well,
with
of course.
Netflix?
Well, not even
Uh,
that. They have the usual procedure. You know, these things are going to come out and be out there for a while, and then go through all these pre-existing agreements have to be honored for
Right.
some time.
That's what I'm saying.
So the ones that are still streaming on Netflix that won't be on there are Mary Poppins Returns, The Nutcracker of the Four Realms, Christopher Robin, and A Wrinkle in Time, which are all newer movies
Yeah.
that are still going to stay with Netflix until that has run its course.
Yeah.
Then it's not just those, but here are some movies that are not new. One of them is new, but not all of them are new. And one of them I'm actually kind of pissed about. So Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a Pixar movie. It's a good Disney movie. It's cool. That's not going to be on there. Planes, which is
It's
a
on
Cars spinoff, is not going to be on there.
Don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Planes, Fire, and Rescue, which is the second one. Frankenweenie, which was a Halloween movie. It didn't do that well.
Even less of a shit.
Okay, here's the one I'm kind of pissed about because I want my kids to watch it. Tarzan.
Really?
Which Tarzan?
The animated Tarzan.
The old animated Tarzan?
Not
The
going to be on there.
freaking Phil Collins classic, bro.
Dude, that movie is a Disney classic.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's not going to be on there. I guess because it's on Netflix right now. So Netflix is
Why?
almost kind of sticking it to Disney. Like, okay, like we got it, but we're going to hold on to everything as long as we can just to fuck with you.
Exactly.
I
So
mean, what were they supposed to do? Give it back? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
here's some other ones that are not going to be on Disney Plus at launch. Coco, The Incredibles 2,
Ooh,
and
Coco's
Up.
good. I love
was a
Coco.
great movie.
Coco is an incredible movie, actually.
It's so good. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend it.
Yeah, for
like a million
real.
times.
Have you seen Coco, Naru?
Yeah, I did. It's
Okay.
one of those that makes you. It's pretty emotional.
It really is. Like that movie's actually
It's a
incredible.
great freaking movie.
It's like Coco. What's the one that the cartoon that deals with emotions again?
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Those are some really.
I haven't seen Inside Out, but I've heard it is good as well. I know. I just never got around to seeing it, but I did hear that one was good.
Inside Out was cool. So let's continue on what's not going to be on Disney Plus. Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, The Jungle Book, or either Maleficent movie, all the live action ones.
Huh.
And that's kind of odd to me, seeing as how they're making this push to start doing live action movies, but you're not gonna put it on your streaming service so that way when you come out with new ones.
Nah, what's gonna end up happening is like, the next couple won't make it, and then in like 2 years, all of a sudden, whatever one comes up that year is gonna hit along with all these past ones when the Netflix
Dumbo
contract
is coming out. Dumbo will be on it.
That's because Dumbo was sucked ass. No one cared about Dumbo. Netflix is like, no, you can keep Dumbo. We don't give a shit about Dumbo.
How much you want us to pay for it? Yeah, you can
Fuck that. No, that's all. You can hold on to it.
No,
I mean, a lot of the classics are going to be there anyway. I mean, the original Snow White, Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio, Swiss
So,
Family Robinson.
here's some.
A lot of those old
odd.
classics are going to be there. Dumbo's the original is going to be there. So
The Lone Ranger, John Carter,
John Carter.
The Sorcerer's
I like
Apprentice.
John Carter.
The
Shut
Sorcerer. I always forget The Sorcerer's Apprentice is a Disney movie. I love that movie.
The Prince of Persia, Alice Through the Looking Glass,
Mhm.
Oz the Great and Powerful.
Okay.
Now here's one that's weird because all the other movies are going to be on it. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
But all the other ones are.
They didn't finish it. Like
Huh.
kind of odd. Yeah,
Oh,
and
I saw
then the Mighty Ducks will not be on it.
Oh, did you guys
even though
hear
it's Disney?
that they're? I think but I think they're talking about doing a TV show for Mighty Ducks.
Maybe.
Which that would be dope.
Homeward Bound.
Dude, that movie made me
Also will not
cry.
be on it. That is a great movie. Cool Runnings,
Oh.
Angels in the Outfield,
Love Cool Runnings.
George of the Jungle, and
Ooh, that's a
Airbud
good one too.
will not be on there.
Fuck, dude, that's a lot of movies that aren't going to be on there.
Oh, there's a huge list.
That's crazy, yeah, because they definitely are pitching this like every Disney movie you could ever want to watch is going to be on our
yeah.
service.
But it
Are they
doesn't
though?
stop there. Like, so let's get into like Star Wars, right? That's our next. Like, we'll get into Marvel in a second. but Star Wars, that's a huge draw, right? So
Yeah.
everyone can watch this Star Wars stuff. So at launch, Star Wars episodes 1 through 7 will be on the streaming service. Star Wars episode 8 will not be on there until 2020.
Because it's on Netflix.
9 comes out in December.
Yep.
So you can watch 1 through 7, just go somewhere else for 8
It's on Netflix.
before you go see 9.
Rogue One and Netflix and Solo.
So, and that's what I was going to say. 9 comes out in December. Rogue One and Solo do not hit the streaming service until next year.
Right. It's because
Mhm.
Netflix already gobbled them up.
So
Pre-existing contracts.
then we'll go to Marvel.
Before we do that, I just want to say real quick that they do have a rather interesting lineup of nonfiction stuff. Like
Oh, yeah.
The World According to Jeff Goldblum. I'm like, sign me up. Like Jeff Goldblum can take me anywhere to talk about anything. I don't know. Let's do that. Like,
Well,
let's do that.
They also have that one where it's the cast. Like, it shows you, like, all the secrets of Disney and, like,
Oh,
The Imagineering story. Yes.
yeah. It's like how
Any
they
true Disney
go
fan's gonna
into
watch the
depth
hell
with
out of that.
everything.
Yeah.
I find that, dude, I am a Disney fanatic. Trust
Yeah.
me.
That's why I said that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy to me that they're launching this, and just like everything else, there are going to be restrictions. But so right now, let's look. I don't see anything that's not going to be on there, other than like the 2008 Hulk movie,
Black
Tom
Panther.
Holland Spider-Man films. So Spider-Man won't be on there.
I doubt Black Panther will be on there.
No, Black Panther will.
Really? Okay, because that one's on Netflix right now.
But it's because that is owned by Disney. Spider-Man is not owned by Disney, so it won't be on Disney Plus. The Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right.
So it won't be on Disney Plus.
Spider-Verse,
But
which
these are the only 7 that are confirmed. Like 100%. We haven't seen any that are confirmed not coming on, but these are confirmed that will be there. Iron Man 1, Iron Man 3, which go fuck yourself.
why is the 2 on there?
Thor: The Dark World, which no one wants.
Hey, yo, I'm down with Tour the Dark World. I mean,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Here you go.
That's a fun one.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Which is better than most
Okay.
people give it credit for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
I love me some James Spader voice.
There you go.
Ant-Man.
Okay.
Love
Absolutely.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
And Captain Marvel, which I think is weird that Captain Marvel will be at launch. But it is one of the first movies that will be at launch.
That's because it's.
So they're like pushing that.
I think that's another one that like it didn't do as well as they hoped. So Netflix is like, no, that's fine. You can keep that one.
Well, Netflix they didn't
Wait,
even
hold up. What do you
give
mean
it a
didn't do as
chance.
well as they hoped? They made $1 billion.
Oh, did it?
Well,
Okay. I guess maybe
Yeah, they
credit.
didn't give Netflix a chance because they already knew their streaming service would be coming out.
Okay.
So they didn't even offer
I got you. Okay.
for them to
Exactly. It
run
was from that point they already started to dial
Right.
back on the deals.
Yep.
Yeah.
it. Right. So, getting into that, I don't want everyone to think this is a downer episode, right? Like, oh, this stuff isn't going to be there. It's not. I mean, you can't get everything,
Right.
right? But also, I'm kind of bummed that no Marvel shows are coming out on launch.
Like the
Yeah.
Loki, like those shows.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I agree.
Marvel's Hero Project, a documentary, will come out on launch. But the first show we get is going to be Falcon and Winter Soldier, and that's late 2020.
I think it's because part of that's probably just because they didn't start shooting those. Like Falcon and I think Falcon and Winter Soldier are shooting now, which means they've got to finish shooting it, put it together. Because I'm assuming they're going to release it Netflix style, where we get the whole thing all at once. And so,
No, they're gonna stagger it.
is it?
Yeah, I think they're going to
They're
stagger
probably
it,
gonna
too.
stagger. They're probably gonna do the Disney. Like the Mandalorian is gonna be released in stages, right? Like it's not all at once.
I don't know. I haven't actually heard anything about how they're going to release it.
I think the Mandalorian is all at once.
Oh, it is.
Mhm.
Okay.
But that is
Because
something that I wanted to say.
I've hated the thing that DC does on DC Universe, where they'll start a show, give you like 3 episodes, and then you gotta wait for one each week, like drip, 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 and then just as that one's ending, they'll start the next one, and then drip, drip, drip. I'm like, you know what? This is you know what? This is abuse. Like I would,
Yeah,
I would
give me
straight up.
all or nothing.
Like
You know what I mean?
seriously,
Like, give me all of them
they
at
did it
once.
to Young Justice, dude.
Yeah, give me all of them at once, or give me one episode a week. Don't give me 3.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
so
weird.
random.
Okay, don't listen to this guy. Give me 3. That's better than nothing. Thank you. And then I'll run through one at a time, and then another 3. That's fine. Don't listen to this guy. He has no idea what he's saying. Thank you very much.
So
Having said that, though, I do think, and this is just my opinion when it comes to DC. I think the reason why DC's been kind of dialing back is now they're really deciding that with everything Disney Plus is about to release, they have got to consolidate all that good stuff into something bigger, because the money
that's
that
why
they're
they
putting,
teamed up with HBO and they're doing a Green Lantern series.
Yeah.
yes,
But
among other things.
yeah, well, I'm kind of excited about DC again.
I
But
was a little concerned when they said it was Berlanti. Then I had to remember that he's the guy behind the stuff on DC Universe. Like he's clearly able to switch gears between stuff that's CW-ish and
Mhm.
stuff that is more,
decent.
you know, Doom Patrol.
Decent.
So bringing it back to Disney, I have a question for you guys. What are you most excited to watch once the service does come up?
Everything Marvel.
All 3 shows.
Which is
All
what
3
Loki, Scarlet. No,
Well, but it's not there at launch.
it's
I'm actually more excited for
When
stuff
I'm
like
saying like launch.
launch, right? Got it. I'm actually more excited for in that case. I'm more excited. I'm curious about the Mandalorian because Star Wars has not exactly blown my mind over the last 2-3 years. I feel like they've been dilly-dallying in the world of Skywalker without making me really excited about it for too long, and I was hoping to see more of the Star Wars universe. I used to I used to run into and find and read some of the books from that extended universe, and I thought this was really cool, but they haven't done any of that, you know? And so I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm actually more excited to see some of the live action, the nonfiction stuff, the documentaries on Disney. I'm looking forward to seeing a few other, like I think The Rock is doing something on all the shows. I'm sorry, all the rides that Disney has. He's producing a show.
Does he fit
as well.
on any of them?
I don't think so. I think he
Well,
carries
he's-
all.
I would stream and binge watch The Rock on the teacups.
Just like it's like him and this little kid.
Steering wheel. Can't reach it.
He's just like spinning the wheel, and the kid just like flies out of the cups.
They install seat belts on the one hand.
I'm hoping the Mandalorian does for me what Rogue One did for me. Like if the Mandalorian can do for me what Rogue One did, I'm all in.
See, and Tank, do you know what you're looking at? Because you had no idea you were even going to watch it.
I wasn't planning on getting it, so it was just like, you know, when the Marvel shows came around, I'd probably find a way to watch those, but I wasn't like dying to get to them or anything. So I don't know. It'll depend on what actually shows up at launch, and maybe I'll scroll through and see if anything jumps out at me.
See, my thing is also The Mandalorian. Same reason. Rogue One is amazing, but it feels like The Mandalorian is shouldering a lot of this launch weight.
Oh, it is.
Like, because I read off a ton of stuff, and that's not even all of it.
Right.
That's not going to be there, right? I mean, they are going to have, you know, Disney Junior. They're going to have all their Disney television shows. They're going to have Disney movies. They're going to have National Geographic, which I'm excited about National Geographic. I love that shit. They're going to have a ton of stuff, but new stuff, like I like Amazon Prime for Jack Ryan. I like Netflix because we're getting The Witcher soon, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're getting these cool originals. The Mandalorian is going to be the only original fictional story at launch, and it feels like there's a whole bunch of judgment and weight on the shoulders of one Mandalorian story.
And you got to wonder because they already knew they were going to bring out Disney Plus as far back as 2 years ago. So it's interesting that the launch of this coincides with a gap in Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff, and there's no new Marvel anything on that. Like, you're like, how did you guys plan this? Like, think about it this way. Nothing, this is the first time in forever that we have nothing MCU related in December.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
even Agents of Shield. I mean, it's, like all that stuff is just weird. So like, okay, you don't have any of this out. You have this gap. One would think that they're taking stuff out of our, out of the public so they can put it on
Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus, but there's nothing there. So
Not until the end of 2020. So that's
pretty
like,
much. I mean, even the easy stuff like the Marvel's What If, is an animated series.
mid 2021.
Yeah.
They could have had that ready to go long before now. Like, they could have put those gears in motion. So it feels like, maybe I'm wrong here, but it feels like the whole Kevin Feige has so much on his plate for him to sign off on might have kind of played a part in this. I don't know, because everything entertainment from MCU goes through him, and he had a lot to deal with before, the Disney Plus guys are doing their stuff. Maybe they couldn't get to some meetings. Maybe they couldn't arrange some sit downs. I don't know, but that's my thinking. Like, there might have been some other administrative, just impossible to get it together reason. Otherwise, why the hell would you own MCU content and not create something to launch with right away?
And to my knowledge, I don't think that Disney has any fictional stories that are going Disney Plus at launch. Like, any where it's like, oh, I definitely need to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Like my daughters, Naru, you probably understand. Tank,
Yeah.
you're too young. The Descendants movies.
Right.
Does your daughter watch that?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
It's not a thing.
My daughters and the kid down the street, they are obsessed with this Descendants stuff, right? Because they're all like, angsty teenagers, or like the kids of villains or whatever, and it's like the musical, but they have nothing like that even releasing on launch day. So it really feels like The Mandalorian is holding a lot of weight, and like Naru said, there's no Marvel stuff there. Now this is kind of cool. In February, they're launching the 7th season of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
that's going to be cool. Like, the Clone Wars was really good. But that's, how many months for, 3 months from now?
Yeah.
So it's like, for 3 months, people are going to watch The Mandalorian, binge watch it in a week,
Right.
and then go, all right, well, back to Netflix.
Yeah. Unless you want to watch.
Netflix consistently has, I'm always getting emails. Oh,
Yeah.
check out this new show we just
Every
launched.
month. Yeah.
Not even every month, every week they have a new show. Whether it's something you do or don't want to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
They're putting out content.
yeah, they're putting out content.
And can we say?
Disney
Can we just?
has to put out
Not
more
even
content.
just, not even top level. Like, not everything is even top level content. Like,
No.
one of my oldest friends, like literally my kid brother's best friend growing up, he ended up turning out, he dancer, got into hosting, got into become friends with some Nigerian actor. Eventually he's in a movie. Now he's an actor. He's an actual actor. He's turning into some sort of star back in Nigeria, which I found very interesting because he was a guy you couldn't push in front of a camera. Then all of a sudden he did a movie called Up North, and Netflix is buying hard into international content. Next thing you know, the movie's on Netflix. I'm like, you're shitting me.
Yeah, that's
so
dope.
The other day, I mean, if I thought I was going to cancel Netflix and go to Disney Plus, that kind of shit's going to keep me coming back, because there's no way I'm not going to, I mean, my wife now has access to a whole bunch of Nigerian movies that we typically don't watch, and because it's Netflix, the quality has to be higher than usual.
Right.
So I'm finding stuff on there that I typically would never have found any other way. So it's turned into a portal home. So I'm laughing with my brother. We're watching an old friend. He's just basically clowning around as himself on screen. And it's like if tomorrow I watch some new show with both of you guys on there, and I'm like, wow, You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this can't be happening. So
So
Netflix is doing more than just creating top content. There's some smaller, less expensive stuff that just kind of pads it out.
Yeah. And can we take a second to appreciate the fact Netflix started out as a mail order DVD service?
oh yeah, I
Like-
So
my
amazing.
ex had it, for sure.
Insane.
Who
So-
knows what we're going to say about Critical Role in a few years from now?
Yeah.
Critical Role started out as a
It started out as like 7 friends in their friend's apartment.
there you go.
Well, I mean, you can already say that about Critical Role.
I know.
But
I'm just saying.
so-
Imagine what can happen after this.
Yeah.
like, really, Disney Plus is gonna have to step up their game, because if they want to be this all-dominating streaming service, and you can't not use Netflix, like, as a household name.
Right.
Like, I found this article, and the reason we're talking about it tonight is because I found an article this weekend that said Netflix and pause or something like that. And I was like, so what's going on with Netflix? And I opened it, and it was about Disney Plus not showing a whole bunch of things. And I was like, that's not even the same service. Like, literally 2 different companies, but they're using the Netflix and chill,
Yeah.
like where it's just like, hey, we're streaming and hanging out.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Totally. Shit, in my house, when you have kids, that's what it is.
Right, yeah,
You
yeah.
have kids, it's, hey, Netflix, you chill the fuck out and sit on the couch.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking move. That's Netflix and chill when you have kids. But Netflix is a household name, and like Naru said, they're putting out tons of content, not top tier all the time, but you have to have your mid tier and your sub tier as well, because you have to have that brainless something. Like, I cannot sit and watch 8 hours of The Watchmen if I'm not in the right mood.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That'd be
Yeah.
tough.
Like, it's something so dense, like Game of Thrones. We
Yeah.
all binge watched Game of Thrones.
Yep.
But now, do you want to do it again?
No.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
a lot of content.
exactly. So it's like you can watch an episode of Game of Thrones every now and then, but then it's like, what else is here?
Yeah.
So
Well,
they're putting
think-
out a lot. Disney's not going to top that for a long time.
No.
True. This is going to take a while, but I do think they're hedging their bets in some ways, but they're going big in other ways. Like one of the things they're doing that's interesting is we're forgetting that there's a lot of stuff out there that we would never watch, just as there's people out there who wouldn't give
Right.
shits about the MCU. High School Musical, they're bringing it back with a whole,
Oh, really?
new series.
New cast.
The new Lizzie McGuire is coming back.
Oh, okay.
And
Is
these
she
are
an
all things
adult
coming
now?
out. Sorry?
Is she an adult now? 'Cause I wanna watch that. I'm just saying, like,
I don't
you
know,
know,
man.
I as a child, I may or may not have had a crush on 1, Lizzie McGuire, or 2, Ren Stevens.
So basically, yes, you did. Basically,
Tate's
yes, you
laughing
did.
because he also had a crush on 1 Lizzie McGuire or 2 Ren Stevens.
I haven't thought about even Stevens, and I can't tell you how long. That's
Dude,
hilarious.
okay, I'm gonna say this totally candid. Ren Stevens, I don't even know her real name, but she's on NCIS Los Angeles.
Hmm.
Still looking decent.
Christy Carlson Romano.
Okay, yeah, that works. Yeah, we'll say that's her name.
Oh, Kim Possible. She was on the second Cutting Edge, which I refused to watch because the first movie was great.
I just know this. Bottom line, Disney is going to come out with as much mass appeal as possible. They're going to dump all their old favorites in there. We know this. They're going to dump.
Right.
It's just I don't think they have enough clout on there yet to draw our crowd.
Which is why they teamed up. Well, they didn't team up. They own it for the most part. Hulu. And that's why they're like, oh, we're going to offer this package with Disney, which is going to have all of our stuff. Hulu, which is going to have everything else.
Right.
And ESPN, so that way even the dads will like I
Yeah,
don't want to watch no fucking comic book stuff. I'm watching no princess movie.
Mhm.
I'm not watching shit from the 90s. Oh, okay, I can watch Sports Center.
Yeah.
They're literally getting the whole family with their package.
Which is how Disney rolls.
Oh,
Yeah,
Disney
dude.
is
Fucking.
hands down.
I mean, they got your grandpa, your grandma with all them old ass Disney
Oh, Lords.
shows. You got the grandpas, you got the papas, you got the football fans, you got the kids, you got the teenagers with their angst, you got the. I mean,
The
they're even
Desperate
doing they're
Housewives
even doing
of
a
whatever
show
city.
that's targeting the LGBT crowd. Love Simon series is coming out. I mean, there's so much that they're trying to reach everybody. So,
I mean, it's this bundle is going to. The bundle will give Netflix a run for its money,
Right.
but just Disney Plus alone will not.
No, I agree
Naturally.
with that. I agree with that.
naturally, I agree with that as well.
And the bundle will also wipe the floor with HBO Max bundle. I'm sorry. Like, I like HBO. I think it's great. But you're not going to rope me in with Cartoon Network when Hulu offers almost all the same shows. Like,
What's coming out on HBO Max though? Like I haven't really paid attention. to what's coming
HBO Max is basically going to be all of your HBO shows.
out. Mhm.
But then it's going to include Cartoon Network, basically all of Turner Broadcast System. So like you get TBS, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, DC Universe,
Friends, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Pretty
well,
Little
but those are all
Liars,
owned by Turner Broadcast. That's why.
pretty much, yeah. CW shows.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which that's cool, but when you look at it, HBO Max or Disney Plus, you're going to choose the Disney Plus package.
With Hulu and ESPN, yeah.
Exactly. Because it's going to be the same price, probably. Because
Well,
HBO Max.
the question is,
not
are you
gonna
going to choose? Because like I have right now, I have access to my DC stuff, DC Universe. The question is, are they going to fold DC Universe into HBO Max?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you? Like, if you, it's
Oh yeah.
it obviously didn't work. Like, the DC All Access worked about as well as the CBS streaming that they did. Like,
And that is the truth.
like let's be honest. I mean, and I'm a Star Trek fanatic, and I don't even pay for the service. I use my dad's account because I was like, no, this is dumb.
I love Titans, love Young Justice. Do not think that Brandon and I will continue DC after this year.
No, it's
I mean, I love Titans, love Young Justice.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm not going to pay this for 2 shows.
no,
Right.
it's just not
I'm
enough.
just not going to do it unless you're Game of Thrones and then everybody paid for fucking HBO. But,
True.
like, in all honesty,
It's so annoying when you think about it.
DC Universe was like, okay, we have these shows. Like Swamp Thing came out immediately. Yeah, we're not doing this.
Which I thought was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. But there's a whole bunch of that going on with DC Universe where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. And never mind. So I totally see them selling out to rope it back around
Yep.
to HBO Max. And they want to be HBO Max's Marvel. I'll be your Huckleberry. But on that, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Tank, do you have any last rounds about Disney Plus or streaming services in general moving forward?
I've been saying it for fucking a year now. I think it's bullshit that you literally stopped paying for cable because you're like, cool, everything's on one service on Netflix. Now you're paying as much for all these different fucking streaming services that you were paying when you had cable. That in and of itself is fucking stupid.
It's worse. It's fucking worse.
It's-
because now it's like, well, to have HBO, you have to have some kind of cable company until HBO Max or something like that. Or you pay $40 on Amazon, but on top of that, I can only watch The Witcher on Netflix, and I can only watch this on Amazon.
Yes.
I can only watch this here.
And oh, by the way, none of it works without internet service.
Yep.
So,
you still have to go to the cable company to get. So do you want those 40 channels for $5?
Like,
I don't have enough in my budget for $5.
What makes me laugh? Cable is going the way of home phones. Do either one of you have a home phone service?
Oh hell no.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I have a Vonage voice over IP.
That's a little different, but even still, like.
But I only have it because I got it from work. It's still there. I just.
The reason that they do it, telecom, is because now it all goes through the internet. So they're just going to still charge you data rates,
right?
Or unless you have the unlimited, which everyone should by now.
Pretty much.
But
so
it's just a free thing that they can tack on that costs them nothing, but will cost you extra money. So it's more money for them.
I literally when I was swapping to something. I think it was Comcast. I think I was changing plans, and they're like, "Oh, we'll give you a deal, blah blah blah, if you have this phone." And it's like, "Cool, okay." And then she started walking me through setting it up. I was like, "No, I'm not gonna plug it in, but I guess if it's gonna be, oh no, you have to plug it in." Oh, then I don't want it. I literally am not gonna pay for this package, well, purely because you want me to plug in a phone. No, this is stupid. I'm not doing that. It's so dumb.
So
Okay,
here's the
good.
thing. For me, I had to sit down and do an evaluation of if I got everything I wanted next year, and that included everything from like my YouTube TV, Disney
Right.
Plus, Hulu, HBO Max, blah blah
Total
blah.
cost.
Total cost, including Netflix, DC Universe, Spotify, Audible.
Yeah.
It came to about $157.
Jesus.
And I said, okay. So I did a spreadsheet,
Start marking off the list.
checked all the stuff that was supposed to be family sharing, out of which I can only share. I can't share. They don't have family sharing for DC Universe. They don't have family sharing for AMC A-List, which is how I watch movies, and Audible. So I looked at that and thought, okay, screw it. If I'm going to do this, reached out to my bro and said, dude, what are you spending? What are you spending money on here? Because there's some stuff I pay for, some stuff he pays for. We put it all together.
Right.
And decided we could just look at 187, cut that in half by splitting the cost. That'd be roughly $80, 70, $80 for all of that. With the exception, obviously, of the AMC A-List, so roughly 65. So I thought that's not too bad.
Crazy times we're living in.
I know, right?
Cats and dogs living together. It's madness.
So all of
It's
that
raining
stuff,
shit upwards. I mean, the world is crazy. One thing that I want to say, I'm super stoked for an Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney Plus.
Didn't you feel like that was like an added? I mean, I knew it was probably going to come, but there's some things that I really felt like they say, you know what, we better get this done. Like there's
it was definitely people are like, well, there's not enough stuff, and then they're like, wait.
There's more.
We're doing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I think it was their attempt to do It was their attempt to do a one more thing. Like,
yeah, right. The one thing that I have not found yet, but I'm hoping, is that the '90s Disney movies are on there, because I got to get my brink in, bro.
Yo, you talking about the Disney Channel movies?
Yes,
dude, that fucking
Johnny Tsunami and Brink.
Hell,
watch those.
Yeah, dude, me and the wife. So my internet went out the other day, and so we're like, "Fuck, what are we gonna do?" The only thing to watch in the whole house was the DVD of Grind. I don't know if you were. I think we've talked about it.
That's not a Disney
it's
movie.
Not,
I love it.
But it's that same vein of like C-list fucking like skateboarding like sports movies. Fucking dude.
Grind made by the same guy. It actually has the same actor from the movie Out Cold. Now, the movie Out Cold, same thing. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. Came out before Grind. Snowboarding. Zach Galifianakis' first movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
You have to see it.
I want to so bad now.
Is Out Cold a million times better than Grind?
What? No way.
Dude, there's a polar bear that licks a dude's balls. It licks Zach Galifianakis' balls. And then in one section, they're riding the gondola to the top of the mountain, and Zach turns and asks the other guy in the gondola, he's like, hey, man, can you get an STD from a polar bear? I'm sorry, what'd you say? Nothing, don't forget I said that.
Oh my god, I've never heard of this movie. I will watch it.
Yeah, the polar bear is licking his balls. He's like, good boy. I mean girl.
What on earth?
Dude, it's great. And Zach gets his junk stuck in a hot tub. So, yeah. Out Cold is definitely not going to be on Disney Plus. I'm hoping that Brink is. Hey, guys, tell them where to find you.
Yeah, you guys can find me all over the internet at The Caped Critic. Keep an eye on the channel. We've got a lot of stuff in the hopper as we're trying to get some new content out to you guys, so stick around.
Rue, tell them where to find you.
Sorry, I was going to say, you can find me at Naru the Nerd Guru on Twitter and Instagram. Hit me up. Let's have a debate. Hopefully, I'll convince you of something you thought differently about.
Naru loves debating. Some people would even call him a master debater, but not me. You guys can find me at Houdini0333 on Twitter and the old Instagram, the old grams of instance. But hey, you can find all of us at TheNerdsFromWork.com, where you can find all of our stuff, links to our show, and links to our Patreon. You can find us at The Nerds From Work on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. You can find us at Nerds From Work on Instagram and the old tweet machine. Hey, from all of us here at the workplace,
Peace.
peace.